Evening, Dave.
Evening, bud.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Good,
Chilling out,
good.
relaxing. Another Thursday night. Is it Thursday?
I hope so.
Okay, just checking.
I know it's the last. When you want to think, is that last week we done one, and the weeks
Yeah.
have gone in far too quick. Far too quick.
Well, somebody's. It's a lead up to the Monday night special, ain't it, Baz? Really?
It
Because
is.
it's like a guy. I don't know. I'm quite close to it. A guy in a red t-shirt, and I can't decide if he's like 14, 41, or 81.
You're right with 81.
Yeah.
Fucking feel like that, the new man. Fuck me. Hey, it's only a number, Dave. It doesn't hurt.
Every single year, Baz, you just keep on going and keep on bits and pieces. Evening, PK.
Talk of the devil, and it will appear.
Oh no, tell me about it, man.
I hope you're well, Chris. Hope you're well.
Well, Chris
So,
Comedian still. I'm still hoping for it for the end of the year. So we'll see what happens.
I think he should change his name to the Peaky Comedian.
Yeah, 100%. So come on in, Baz. It's your channel, your host. Come on, show off your brand new plastic stuff or furry stuff.
Well, I'll show these guys off because one of them was an early birthday present.
What early birthday present?
Yeah. So I got this guy as an early birthday present.
Are they 3.5 inches, Baz, or 6 inch?
There's 3.5. That's the retro collection.
Huh? That looks really, really good.
I've got a couple, man. I've got Mrs. Fantastic, and I've got Electra, and I think I've got the Hulk as well. So that's another one to add to the. And then Saturday, after I'd done the boots here, I went to the charity shop, and the charity shop had this guy in as well.
Unbelievable what the charity shops are getting.
Oh, it's mental what some of the. Fair enough. This one was only a fiver, but man, I had like the older style Batman figures. I
Yeah.
think it was, the ones that oh, I forget. Also picked up. See you, Dave. You got me into fucking picking these up when I see
Yeah.
them. And then also
Optimus Prime.
from I think it's the Beast War. Well, Beast. But no, it's weird what the charity shops are getting in and the prices because they had. I can't remember the proper name of them, but it was like the armored versions.
Yeah.
With the Catwoman, it comes with like a silver, a gold, like armor meant to be like a saber tooth. But they had the Batman, and they also had the Joker. But they wanted 25 quid for them. For those
That's
ones,
one extreme to the other, ain't it, Baz?
they wanted 25 quid for those ones, but they only wanted the fiver for that. So that's
That's a
what
bit
kind of
weird.
gets me thinking is that it must depend on what manager or whatever's owning that day, and it's like, oh, put that for that price, put it for that price.
Yeah.
Because you've noticed that as well with
Yeah. Well,
certain stuff.
essentially, I know two charity shops now that I actually went in, and the girls actually told me that they're actually spending more time on eBay researching the stuff before they put the toys out. I know there's one lady like half complained at me. It's like I just spent the last 5 hours just pricing this lot up because it's like it's crazy, isn't it?
Do you want to answer that one?
Well,
Kiki says, what are you saying about me now?
I just want we want the peaky era comedian, 100% peaky Camaro comedian. You know, We started a trend last week, and I might do the hashtag as well. Hashtag Peaky Carry, Peaky Comedian. So, but no, the charity shops, like, I've went out and there's like 10 or 12 in a row in one of the closest little towns to me in Bass, and I picked up one item, perfectly honest. The rest of it was just overpriced. I've already got it, or nothing in.
Mm.
The only thing I got in is a pink flamingo.
Oh, is that the one? I think that's the one that comes with a toilet or something, and you feed it, and it makes.
What else? What's it? There you go.
That would if I was to get one of them for my nieces. That's it. I'd be dead.
And then basically, since the car boot and that sort of stuff, I just thought I chose one item from it, and everyone is asking me about it. Is this one?
No, that's Dracula from Van Helsing.
What's the one?
That's a mental find at a boot sale, Dave. To be honest, I thought I was
for about £5 and
I thought it was only me that got good finds, but that's like a find of the year for you.
Yeah. Well, so far I haven't found that much, but yes, it's I used to have it when it came out, but then I think I sold it. So, but then it's like, why not pick it up again?
Definitely.
I'm probably going to hang it from the ceiling or something, and there you go. That's my two special finds so far of the week.
But that Van Helsing figure, man, that'd be good for like if you're into like the toy photography.
Yeah.
Be able to get some nice pictures in that with that.
Yeah. It's one of the things, Baz. I follow quite a few people, especially on Instagram, and they actually take some of the figures with them on holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the poses, if you talk back to Thailand, the old cities and ruins with that behind it, it'd make $1 million picture.
Oh, aye.
Some people like taking the back garden, that sort of stuff, but I thought, yes, the wings do come off, but it's a bit too big to take.
It's just like one of the guys is in their Discord, Travis, the action man. You check him out on Instagram, and you see some of his toy photography, man.
Yeah.
It's him. It's kind of got us all kind of doing our own style.
Yeah.
Because it was a broad day of the day. I was out with Skeletor and Evil One, so I've taken a few pictures of them. Just
Yeah, sometimes it's just a bog standard figure. It could be the, £1 out of Poundland that cost absolutely nothing. You take it to a background, you spark it up. It's $1 million picture, then, isn't it? So I say if anyone in the chat's got any questions for us or bits and pieces, I've got a few questions to ask Baz in a bit. For his birthday coming up on what is it? Monday, is it? Yeah.
it is indeed.
Sweet.
It's just another day, another.
Yeah.
I'm still 21 at heart. It's only a number.
15, 14.
Fucking wish.
But you don't want to go back to the school, so yes, I can see why 21. All school and college is done. You're freedom then, ain't you?
Definitely.
But no. So you got anything like birthday wishes or anything you're planning to do for your big day?
Well, we're either going to go out for a meal on Saturday, hopefully, if everything goes to plan tomorrow. I
Yep.
don't want to say too much, but if everything goes to plan tomorrow, then hopefully go out for a meal with my mum and dad on Saturday. But that all depends on tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm working on Monday anyway, so I tried to get it off, but I was just a day late in putting it in. But once I finish work on Monday, quickly pop to my sister's, and then we'll have the live stream later on that night. Have a couple of beers, bring in another year.
Yes. I know I touched on it last Thursday, but if you could have one birthday toy wish, you could have anything in the world, what would it be?
I would love the Mega Constructs Castle Grayskull, but I know it's a bit pricey. But as I've said to you before, I do have plans to try and acquire that by the end of the year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Either end of this year or beginning of next year. I'm hoping to acquire that, but I'm not really looking for anything special for my birthday, to be honest. I have asked for a few bits, but with everything going on and with gas and all that going up, it's kind of hard to. But I just have to wait and see.
Sometimes, Baz, it's like when people say, "What do you want for your birthday?" That's what you almost say. Can you stick a bit of money in the card so I can get myself something when it comes out? Or, one of our friends, he's like, we was actually planning to go to Liverpool the weekend for a big wrestling convention, literally this weekend, stop over and have a lads' weekend up Liverpool. But then when we both worked out for the hotel, tickets to get in, tickets to get up there, and everything else, but then our friend is well into Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, and literally, was it last Friday? It's basically all the Jurassic World toys dropped. All the brand new Jurassic World top toys just dropped on Smiths and Entertainer and everywhere.
I've seen the ones on Entertainer because I quickly browsed that the other night there.
And he only collects wrestling now and Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. And he said, "Would you mind if we pull out of it now?" Last week, we never booked it. He was going to book it beginning of the week. I said, "No, go for it, mate." So he spent all the money on 5 or 10 items for the new Jurassic World stuff.
Some of the new Jurassic World stuff does look quite cool, like.
Yeah. Especially it's, the fourth toy company? When Kenner started with the toy line, they went to Jack Pacific, then went to Hasbro, and now Mattel. Mattel's, I think, done one of the best lines so far, all in scale. I'm hoping Mattel releases more play sets and a few other bits like that down the line.
It's like tomorrow, man. I'm going to have a wee trip to the Entertainer tomorrow. Yeah. Just have a wee browse about, see what. Because on their website, they've got a lot of new stuff on their website. So I'm just wondering if my local one will have any in store, just so you can actually see them in person to see what they're like.
Yeah.
Because they've got the new Buzz Lightyear figures toy line, and I do like that Buzz. I like the way it looks, kind of thing, because it's not like the original Buzz. It's kind of an updated version. But I noticed they've also got the Sonic 2 stuff in as well.
Yeah.
And I quite like the look of the Dr. Robotnik.
Yes.
So I'll have a wee look and see if they've got them in. The only reason I'm kind of going to Entertainer because I believe they've got my local one has got the new He-Man animated ones, and so I want to try and get a couple of more of their figures if I can. I know it's not. I know that He-Man's not for everybody, but because it's He-Man. But
We're talking about Sonic 2. It's like the new McDonald's doing Sonic 2 things. You know, I thought it was going to be like a pop-up thing like Jurassic Park, but honestly, it's just like a little board game.
See, the McDonald toys are not the same as what they were 5-10 years ago, man.
I know they had a couple of problems with plastic and a few bits, didn't they, recently?
They went away from the plastic foaming toys to the foaming cardboard stuff.
Yeah. I do like the packaging, you know, but I prefer the Jurassic. If it was like a Sonic little figure in 3D, like they did for Jurassic Park, that would have been a lot better for me.
Oh, aye, definitely.
You know, the board game's nice, the detail is amazing, but I can't see these popular as the old toys or anything like that, perfectly honest. But at least the kids are still getting something to do with the movie, with a Happy Meal. So,
see, talking about like stuff that we'd like to get, I'm kind of gutted that I never had the money a couple of days ago, but Amazon was selling the Mega Constructs Havoc stuff for $35.99, and we went the day to order it, and they're out of bloody stock. And they had 28 in stock on Tuesday, or it was either Monday or Tuesday. They had 28 stock, and by today they were, but for that price, for $30, because I think the right price, I think it's about 80 or 90 quid.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, it's a full-size Lego stuff, though, isn't it? But yes.
Oh man, it's in. You could probably, man, if you were doing a cosplay of Skeletor, you'd probably get away with using that as a stuff.
At least if it broke, you can fix it.
Oh, aye.
You know.
I think it was like, it was over 700 pieces, so I don't know how long that would have taken to build, but
it didn't look too bad, actually. I think it's just the head that's complicated. The stuff itself was just long bricks stick together, so that probably wasn't too bad. So okay then, Baz. A follow-up question to that one then. What is it with He-Man that's so special to you then?
He-Man, man, it's hard to describe, but I think when He-Man first came out, it was 88 when I got Castle Grayskull. And my younger brother, he got Snake Mountain, so we basically got majority of all the figures and all that. He-Man's always kind of stuck to me. It's just one of those. I think it's more sentimental to me than anything else. It was something that me and my brother loved as a kid, kind of thing. And the amount of imaginations that we had when we were kids was unreal, kind of thing. Just sitting there and then coming home from school. First thing you done when I was at school, man. The time I got home from school, He-Man was always on the TV, so you were always sitting in front of the TV with your toys, trying to mimic what you seen on the screen, kind of thing. So He-Man's always been with me, kind of thing. And then She-Ra come out, and then the only thing we didn't have any She-Ra stuff when we were kids, but it was much He-Man. But I wish we could have got some She-Ra stuff in, but you didn't start picking that stuff up until you're older.
Yes.
But
well, no, some of the Holy Grails, honestly, is Eternia play set. And I think there's 4 Holy Grails, isn't it, for the old He-Man stuff, isn't there? But if I'm correct, there's the Scareglow original, there's Eternia play set, the big one, and then there's the 2 giants, the green and the other guy, the Italy European exclusives. You know, I say
kind of tongue down the line of He-Man and that. I would love them for like the origin line. I would love them to see if they would actually bring out any of the giants.
Yeah.
I know when the classic line come out, I know they've done a lot of the giants in that line. It's the same with the I can't remember what the dragon was cried again.
Yeah.
But in the origins, I would love them to like bring him out, bring the giants out, bring some of the characters that we never got as kids. I know with the classic line, I know they brought a lot of characters out that only maybe in one or two episodes we never got as a natural toy that we all wanted. So hopefully, like with the origin line, hopefully they'll bring out some of the characters that we never got in the first back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's one of the things, but I know when the classic line and that sort of stuff with He-Man, they missed even again an opportunity, unless it's copyright to something. But when I did the movie figures for the Dolph Lundgren movie, they did Dolph Lundgren, they did Skeletor, God Skeletor, the furry guy, which never been done before. Yes, I know they haven't done Evelyn, but I think the biggest mistake I think that made was the foot soldier. You know, the black foot soldier was just like crazy. Something like that. I'm surprised. I know there's a couple of custom guys that there's done one, and they are absolutely amazing.
Aye, because I'm sure. Well, for like when they brought that movie out, they never brought all the characters out.
Originally, they only did Beastman for the movie, Gwildor. Blade was a European or UK exclusive at the time.
And then they also done the lizard guy as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only four they did. I know Blade's quite hard because I know he's European. Gwildor weren't too bad, you know.
Then get if they done like the He-Man and the Skeletor for the movie, but then it was it Super 7 that done when they got the license. Super 7 that done the He-Man and Skeletor, and then they done the God Skeletor kind of thing.
Exactly the same as the other Skeletor, just with a gold crown and painting gold. That was it. Exactly the same body. It was just a different crown. It was, you know.
You never know what they could do with the classics, the origins line, and could get something like that down the line.
Yeah, I do know on YouTube there's a guy that's made a custom figure out the old 80s, the He-Man.
Aye, I've seen that. That was quite cool.
Yeah, he shows how to do his boots, and that's quite a smart way of doing it, isn't it?
It's like there's another YouTuber, and I can't remember what his YouTube channel is now. Is it Sammy Collectibles? But he knows somebody on Instagram that's went and done Castle Grayskull Man. So he's basically taking it looks like an origin figure, but basically turned it into Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
Because I think in the classic line they've done that. They've done like a Castle Grayskull figure, and it's technically like that, but in the old style articulation kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just mental that folk can actually do that though.
Yeah.
A standard figure and basically customize it to a character that we never had.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. As
soon as you know how to do it and what materials to get that sort of stuff, it's perfect, and it is absolute crazy. You know.
It's like I want to do. I've got a few things that I've picked up over probably the last few months. I really want to, not really customize, but I want to get a better paint.
Yeah.
Because I picked up a Chat May Cyclops, and basically it's just with the Chat May stuff, man. All they do is paint the front. They don't paint the back. And I would love to try and get a new paint job.
Yeah.
just so it looks a bit better. So
Yeah.
a good friend, Rory, the Shadow Wiz, he's kind of helping me out with bits and pieces. But he's went and told me the best thing to do is get those Gundam markers.
Yeah.
The Gundam
I'd
markers.
say either Games Workshop or Gundam Markers are your two best plasticky paints and detailed finds and that sort of stuff.
Hey, John.
Mr. J, how you doing?
Hope you guys are well. I'm good. I'm just kind of looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to kind of try to keep it under wraps until we know for definite.
Yeah, just in
But
case.
if everything goes to plan, then it'll be a good birthday surprise.
Yes. Well, Buzz, I've got another question for you that actually brought up in yesterday's live stream from the Toy Division guys.
Right.
And the guy actually asked the question, and I thought you asked your opinion, and I've got an opinion myself. Do you ever think the Star Wars vintage will actually go out of fashion in the future or die out, the price wise? My answer would be no, because the guys actually brought up at the same time Corgi and Dinky cars. When I was standing once, like
Just
a
give me
couple of
one
years
minute.
ago, next to a Corgi and Dinky collector, this
Mm-hmm.
guy actually pulled out out of a little box, a little Dinky car. And the guy said, "How much is that?" He said, 180 quid. And the guy actually paid him 180 quid cash. He was an old guy. You know, the only thing I like about now the vintage Star Wars stuff, not the repo stuff, just the original vintage,
Mm-hmm.
at least you know what is out there is complete. You know, if you want to go to the Boba Fett prototype stage, you can, but if not, you know the full line, the full vehicles, the full everything. You know, it's up to you at the end of the day if you want the repo weapons or not repo. It's up to your personal collection. But like Aaron and Dan and Andy said, if you're going to ever sell it or buy it, hopefully the people tell you that the weapons are repo,
Mm-hmm.
not class them as originals, which people are. I was just thinking, what's your thoughts on that Star Wars bits and pieces?
With Star Wars, I don't think Star Wars has gone anywhere the
Yeah,
new man. I think the prices and that will still probably go up, kind of thing. Probably John would probably be Super Awesome Geek would probably be the best person to ask that question to. But I think Star Wars is not going to die out.
no,
That to me, kind of thing. I grew up with Star Wars, so and when now they say it's like what was it? Is it 50? Is it 40 years or is it 50 years for Star?
45. It's
So
one of the things back when I was born in 1977 in March. It's quite useful because it's every time Star Wars has a birthday or celebration, it's like sweet.
see, for me, it doesn't matter if it's a vintage if it's original Star Wars figure that we all had when we were kids, or
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's modern Black Series figures. You always notice the prices always go up, kind of thing. So, but and I kind of agree with what you say. Is that if you're going to sell your vintage stuff and you have bought repo weapons for them or anything, is that if you're going to sell them, you need to let the person that you're selling to them, you need to let them know.
yeah,
I'm assuming the majority of the folk that are Star Wars collectors will know the difference between the original. Hopefully, would know between the original and a repo because you would know with the feel of the plastic. Do you think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we done our just normal little chat? Is that with the new Hasbro ones kind of thing?
yeah,
It wouldn't surprise me if folk could actually buy a name and then try to sell those weapons off as originals.
yeah. But they're actually slightly different colours. It's
Mm.
like the reissue stuff I know for turtle figures that are in the shops now. Those are 100% different colours from the original. The problem is with people, especially on eBay and Facebook and everything else, are putting the original pictures up and not putting the official pictures up. There's so many
Aye.
people on eBay, it's crazy.
Because I got caught with that during the first lockdown. Because I brought. Do I have them on the shelf? No, I didn't. I went and got 2 turtle figures. It was, I think it was Raphael and Donatello.
Yeah,
Leonardo, sorry. And the guy put them down as original turtle figures. But when I got them, it was the reissue ones.
yeah.
I never knew the difference between the original because they look the same. But it's not until you actually get them, they were just the colours were just slightly off.
Yeah, the colours and the shells are different colours. I know Pixel Dan's picked it up, and a few other people have picked it up, and that sort of stuff. It's the problem is, do people now care about when it comes to collecting different variants in bits? Because like you can go back to your He-Man saga at the beginning. You've got Meccano, Lily, you know, everything in around the world, different variants. You know, I know the French and Thailand and Mexico are well different in all formats.
Oh, definitely.
You know, same with the Star Wars do now. People care about the variants because even we get it over eBay, don't we? Because you know, you could send your friend, say in America, a carded figure that he's after, really wants it's rare. When he gets it, he doesn't want to open it because it's European cards.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, because I think Shabby got a few figures sent to him, especially the He-Man ones, and I believe there were different cards, especially with the origins. You
yeah,
know when it's a European one because we don't have any words in the comics, but they do.
yeah.
And it'd be good if they did was a little phrase. So it's basically just a picture book that we got instead of actually a proper. I think I've actually got. So it's like with the ones that we get. Where's the camera? It's like it's just pictures. There's no film and no story. You'd have to kind of. But I think the original He-Man
Original ones
toys.
had a full comic book stripping. So I know I've got 2 or 3 of the Italy ones, which technically the book is in 2 halves. It's the first side in English and American, and the other side, if you flip it upside down, like a Japanese book, the other side's all in Italy or foreign language, which, you know, it's quite smart.
Well, like with these ones with the Origins ones, man, especially if you're getting these for your kids, they can kind of make up their own story when they're looking at this. Because my nephew would probably be the same if I gave him this. He'd probably think he'd look at the pictures and he would make up his own story.
Do you think the Origins will actually bring Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain next?
I'm hoping they do. I really hope they do. It's like, especially for the She-Ra one, I think so. Maybe John might be able to answer this, but as far as I know, Shabby if he's watching, but I think as far as I'm aware, they've only done She-Ra. I don't know if they've done any of the other characters from the She-Ra toy line
Haven't
yet.
been the Horde Trooper.
Apart from, well, they've done Hordak, they've done the Horde Trooper, but I'm not too sure if they've done anybody else. But if they're going to go down
I
that
think it's
line
just
and
the
bring it,
I think it's just the 3 characters at the moment.
I hope they do because when they done the classic line, they only brought out Castle Grayskull. Then there was the Kickstarter for the Snake Mountain.
Yeah. I do
But
like that Snake Mountain now.
if you go back to like the 2000X, I don't think they even done a Snake Mountain for that neither.
No.
It was only Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for the Origin line that they do at some point they bring out Snake Mountain, and hopefully they'll bring out the Crystal. Is it Crystal Palace? hopefully they would do that as well, kind of thing.
I know Shabby picked up on one of his latest videos when he went with a few of his friends to that shop. He picked up the playset, didn't he? From it was incomplete, but very good fun and a good price for what he picked it up for. That was.
I think, and hopefully, if the line's doing quite well, man, I will love to see an Eternia playset for the Origins.
Can you imagine that being on a backing system now? Like, so because it's that big, it needs to be the backer.
I would like to see it. I mean, even if that, it wouldn't bother me too much if they scaled it down a little bit, kind of thing. But could you imagine if they did? Because I mean, that's majority of He-Man collectors. That's basically their holy grail is to get the Eternia playset. But could you imagine if the Origins did one? So you could have even if they'd done that and then they'd done Snake Mountain, man, you could have Castle Grayskull in one corner. Depending on how big they would make it, you could have that in the middle, and then you've got Snake Mountain.
I'm hoping, because you said that, because I know the Eternia playset's got the line in the middle, hasn't it? It's got green castle one side and purple the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that it's the same size. The green castle, the side of it, is the same size as the playset behind you, so it all fits in the same size, and then the big set is bigger. If something like that came out, I might be. See, one thing I might be tempted to back. I was very tempted to back, honestly, Baz, the barge of Star Wars. I did like the sail barge. That was something different and unique. I think the only other thing close to it, I've been very close to backing, was the Snake Mountain. I do like the Snake Mountain. That big one is unbelievable. You know, it's like, yes, you'll need a big space to display it. But I've got somewhere in mind for it. But I don't know yet. You know.
I will, to be honest with you, I would love that Snake Mountain, but I don't think I have the space to put that. I would.
You could, but you'd almost get rid of the Castle Grayskull behind you, that section completely, and take all your Black Series off the wall to. I think the biggest problem is, Baz, when I looked at it, the box is too big to ship to the UK as well. Through the post office, you need to go through global shipping or something. Then it puts you off buying it because it's just a bit too big for the post office, I think. You know. But no,
because I think, because how big is the Snake Mountain again? It's about 4 feet in it.
4 foot by 3 foot, and then it opens up to 4 foot tall by, is it 6 foot long?
It would be a cool set to get at some point, eh? But you're probably, the time that we think about it, man, you're probably going into the thousands after the aftermarket and folk selling them, and so I know Grant from Toy Division. I know he's got one.
Yeah,
and it is huge. They didn't realise how big it actually was. I mean, this thing's a beast.
Any backer items you've spotted in the past you wish you backed or thinking of getting? Or
to be honest with you, I wished I'd done the Razor Crest, but I didn't have the money at the time.
Yeah.
I would have probably backed the Rancor if you got better stuff with it. But I think a lot of folk were in the same kind of thing, is that they're hoping to get some, but I kind of a lot of the stuff they were getting was like bits of cardboard and that. So I think it put folk off. But I think for that they done it just before Christmas. I think they done it at the wrong time. I think if they done it now, then it may have been a bit better.
Yeah.
I think they done it too early. I think they tried to release it too early.
Yeah.
And with Christmas coming up, folk are buying Christmas presents, so they've not really got the money to put in. But
Yeah.
It is one item I want to get for a collection as a Rancor at some point. I don't care if I'm not fussy if it's the original or it's one of the newer ones, but I would love to find a Rancor at some point for a good price.
Yeah. That's easy enough doable at a toy fair, toy show, or car boot. That's at least you know there's a lot of variants out there and a lot of toys out there. I mean,
I missed it because the last year and the year before, they've started doing like small toy fairs in my area every like 3 months, and somebody was selling a Rancor. They were like 25 quid for it, but it's that long for actually seeing an original one, and I actually thought it was broken
yeah,
because of that in the middle. It looked to me, it looked like the teeth had been broken, and it wasn't until speaking to somebody else, and it's like, no, the vintage Rancor's always been like that. It looks like it's got a broken tooth, and it was like I kind of kicked myself.
in yourself, yeah.
But it's this, it was that long for a seen one. I thought it was broken, so I was like, no. But then,
So, talking about backing system, Baz, what do you think the Hasbro are going to do for the next Power Ranger backer? Do you think?
I know a lot of folk are wanting the command center, and I wouldn't mind the command center, but I wouldn't mind like Rita and Zed's from an castle thing
Palace, yeah.
or the palace. I mean, that would be a good for man. I know folk have done customs, have made their own command centers, have done their own palaces and that, but
Yeah.
especially for the Lightning Collection, it'd probably be like from a Snake Mountain. It'd be a big boy kind of thing.
If I actually said to you, I possibly might know what it is that the backer will be. And when you think about it, it's more logical. But will people back it? I don't know. You've actually got one right next to your head behind you.
Titanus?
The rumbles and rumours for the next Power Ranger HasLab backer is Titanus. Because the Megazord, if you think about it, the Megazord's 1/4 scale is $150, $200. Dragon Sword, a couple of weeks ago, it says coming soon. That's going to be about 100, 120. Don't forget, Titanus has always been the $300-$400 mark when it first comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can people afford that? We don't know. I think, and I've heard a rumor and a rumbling that the first Hasbro backing system for HasLabs is Titanus.
See, me and Chris and Billy and all that, we have been talking about this for months and that, but it'd be good if the figures that they brought out, they don't always give you the accessories for that specific character, or they've missing accessories for those characters.
Yeah.
It'd be good if they done weapon packs, that weapons that you're missing from, say, Mighty Morphin to Dino Fury. So even if it's a gun, a sword, or a special weapon,
Yeah.
be good if they done weapon packs. Because I mentioned this, it'd be good if they done like the battleizers, so you could actually have your figures, your Lightning Collection stuff, with their battleizer on.
The problem is, I think Hasbro will release them as well with figures at a later date. With because
it's
I
like
think with Hasbro at the moment with the bits and pieces, I think they're releasing stuff too early in the line. If, for example, look at Pugsy Pig, San Diego Comic Con last year. He's Pugsy Pig with his lunchbox, perfectly amazing. And he's less than 3 weeks later said he's general release Pugsy Pig.
Yeah,
it's like it's too early, isn't it?
I know, because I've got them up there somewhere.
Yeah, and yeah, he's like half the price. I know they reached San Diego. It's like $70 just for the box.
See, the one with the Pudgy Pig for the San Diego one is that you're getting all the you get more accessories with them.
Yeah.
So you're getting like
And the
bits.
box itself, yes, is a lot better. The display.
There is a toy line out there that you can basically get like hamburgers and all that. So you could, because B&M's, no B&M's, Home Bargains was selling them a few months back, and I was actually tempted to buy a packet just to display them with them, but I think it's the exact same figure. The only thing different, you were getting the lunchbox, but I'm
It's
not too sure.
lunchbox accessories and the diorama you get with the when you take the lunchbox out. It's a diorama you build up for the container.
Yeah.
Ernie's juice bar,
That,
iconic.
Chris will probably help me with this one, but I'm sure they've done that with In Space Blue. They brought him out singularly, and then they brought him out with a glider kind of
He
thing.
came out with Psycho Silver. The Psycho Silver in Space Blue is a double pack, which
and then they done.
makes
Then
no
they brought him
sense.
back.
We did design to,
Was it 3 or 4 months later they decided to bring him back out again, but give him like the Galaxy glider kind of thing? It's like things like that. They could have done a set, but our good friend Ranger Forge is actually making the gliders.
Well, technically, as soon as you got the one Baz, all people would do is cast it, make another one out of it, or put it into a 3D printer, and there you go. That's all the same.
Oh, aye. But it's always the same way. Toy lines, man. Same toy lines. It'd be good if they'd done things like that. But it all goes down to money wise. It's like, oh, that's going to cost too much to make this. It's going to cost too much to make that. But it's the fans that are wanting it. And then when you're talking about repo stuff and that's when folk are going, it's like, well, I really want this to go with this.
Yeah.
They're not going to release it. So you're having to look at somebody else that can either do a 3D printing it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just so you've got the. Because I didn't have any problem with like repro stuff. If you're needing it, especially with the Power Ranger stuff, especially with the Megazords, is that there's certain Megazords out there that I think it's the Lost Galaxy Megazord. If you ever come across that, it's always missing the fists.
Yeah.
So the only way, unless you're willing to pay big money for a set of fists, then it's your decision. But a lot of folk will kind of go, well, I'll just go doing that. I know somebody that can do the fists, so I'll just get them off of him. It's like I've got the Tiger Zord that's missing the orbs, but I know a couple of folk that can do the orbs. It's also missing the sword as well. I know people can do the sword for it as well.
Perfect, but I don't mind people having repos all the time. But I say, when it comes to selling repos, or if you know it's repo, tell the people it's repo.
Oh, definitely.
It's the people that get bad reputations are there, like Chris Smith and Stan Solo and a few other people. Like they've got the original molds, original plastic that he uses for the molds, but he paints them slightly different. He's got SL on the toy instead of Kenner or Palatoy. And people are still trying to class his as original figures, which technically they're not. And he's basically getting bad reputations for, that sort of stuff.
See, that's the one thing. Is it? It's what you mentioned that alone. Is that when people are selling stuff on eBay, sometimes they're kind of photoshopping the original toy, and then you're expecting is it what you see on your screen is what you're going to get, and then when you get it, it's like, well, that's nothing what the guy's describing.
Yeah.
It's like when I got those turtles, I didn't know the difference, kind of thing. I thought
even by some of the toy collectors in the toy division guys are still no. It's basically when they do live streams, that sort of stuff. It's like, which version is the toy? Is it? It's like there's a duck character, Ace McDuck.
yes,
And basically, there's two versions of him. it's basically the hat. The first version of the hat didn't come without a peg. It's basically you put it on and it slipped off.
Aye.
But Playmates rectified it with a little peg in the top and put it in the head. You know, one version's a bit harder than the other. Everyone knows about the soft heads and that sort of stuff. It's I say the new versions out in the shops now. The colours are slightly different colours on all the full turtle figures.
Yeah, I've noticed because I have Asda's has actually got the retro turtles in as well now. But I'm tempted to get the other two just so I've got a set kind of thing, eh? But
Yeah,
you can kind of see that there is a slight difference in color. It's like it's either slightly darker than the original.
yeah,
But if you're somebody that's an untrained eye,
yeah,
buying them off of eBay or the marketplace, and it's like, oh, they don't mention anything about the year on it, and it's not until you get them and then you start messing with them, and it's like, wait a minute, why has it got 2014 on it?
yeah.
When it should be 19, is it 80, 89 when the first
88.
come? 88. So they would have that kind of, even though it's got playmates on it.
Yeah.
I was kind
Even
of
that,
lucky. The two that I got, they only cost me 15 quid. And that's what I kind of thought was a bit weird that two of them come complete with their weapons and their their weapon
weapon stand.
and all the weapons were still on them. I kind of thought it was a bit strange, but I never put two and two together.
Yeah.
Because the description says vintage turtles for 15 quid, and it's like you see something like that, you kind of just jump on it. You don't really pay attention too much.
Yeah.
But now we talking to yourself and talking to everybody else about stuff like that, you kind of start looking out.
Yeah. Sweet. Right, and back going on to a different subject altogether. I've asked you that off screen, but I thought I'd pick your brains on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Any toy shows or any shows where now the world's opening back up, or half the world's opening back up, the other half's not? Anywhere you'd like to go in the world, like on holiday, or any shows you'd like to go to, like San Diego, New York?
Oh, I would love to go to Santa. I would love to go there, man, at some point. I would even, and I really want to go to the Star Wars film and
Celebration.
we'd love to go to that. Me and my brother, we were thinking about going to what's it called?
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. We were talking about that for like the next 3 or 4 years, and maybe 3-4 years time go. But I would love just to go just for the experience to build a lightsaber. I think that's like a childhood fucking thing.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with that is, Baz, when I spoke to Social Scurry the other day about his experience, or when he was on a couple of weeks ago on the Toy Division guys, he's like, yes, you pay $200 for the experience to build it, but then they want $25 to $50 for the saber itself. Then there's a bag you can put it in. Now the evolution has come past. You can go into Dark Unders and say, have you got any spare parts so I can build different lightsabers when I get home? And I'm basically selling them $25 to $50 a part. So you can customize, you can have a broken lightsaber on display or a full, perfectly honest, I ain't going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in September. I'm just deciding what to buy or what to get because I know there's that much out there. It's where do you put your money? What do you do? What
I mean, even if it's $200 to build a lightsaber and then they've got like the odd bits, you didn't mind. To me, no. I would quite happily pay the money.
Yeah.
To get it, and it just it's kind of a childhood thing. Is that you always wanted a lightsaber when we were a kid? You always wanted to duel. Me and my younger brother, we used to make our own lightsabers up. Just
Broomsticks?
basically that's basically what it was. It was just like two broomsticks with a makeshift fucking handle on it. The amount of times we got whacked with each other was unreal.
I never thought of broomsticks for lightsabers, but yeah, that could work, couldn't it?
It's like when we were talking about customizing earlier on.
Yeah.
It's like I picked up one on Saturday, but it's just like the start. It's just the. It's just the Vader one. It's just the standard one with the.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at it, and it's like I've actually got plastic piping kicking about because it was an old shelving unit. I just kept the. I says it'll come in handy for something, and I'm kind of looking at this and looking at that, and it's like I could actually could try and attempt to make my own lightsaber. And I've been watching a few YouTube videos, and folk are basically just using like plumbing stuff.
Yeah.
The connectors, so if you're connecting your pipes up, and it's like I could probably put it together, but it's like painting. It's kind of that's going to be the struggle for me because I'm crap at painting.
You never know till you try, Baz.
But even if it's just like a halt, I know I'm not too. But if you want to make a blade, do the blade man, you could always get like the dual rods.
Yeah.
And make your own kind of thing up. But
yeah,
when I seen that on Saturday, and it was like I was after I'd done my whole video, I was like I had one in the corner, and it's like I wonder how easy it would be to just add bits onto that and make your own style like hilt, especially if you want to do cosplay later on.
I know some of the small ones, like you've got there, Baz, actually light up as well. So it can be done.
I know, because I was looking at that and I says, Ken, what would actually make that better, even if you could somehow put like an LED light in it. Kind of
I know
thing.
some of them actually have got LEDs already in them. The flick out ones. I've got 2 or 3 myself that's flick out and it lights up as well.
Mm.
You know, I think the evolution of the lights.
Because like the plastic and that's more darker, but you get the ones that's slightly translucent.
Yeah.
And there is a button, and when you hang it out, it does kind of light up a little bit. It's not amazing, but I was kind of looking at that, and it's like that would actually be better if you could put some sort of light or even LEDs or something on it. It doesn't have to make the
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Then is it the Galaxy's Edge you're looking more forward to, or is it technically building your own lightsaber in the workshop?
To be honest with you, it's just going to Galaxy's Edge. That would be like, because as a kid watching Star Wars, you always wanted to be the pilot of the Millennium Falcon or a pilot of the fucking Y-Wing or A-Wing or X-Wing or TIE Fighter. I think even though you know that there's the guys that are there, they're all dressed up, you know, but seeing like somebody dressed as Chewbacca, I mean, that's just like a child thing. You always want to meet that guy, or you want to meet Darth Vader, or from a stormtrooper, or
you can go to a local Comic Con, can't you?
Mm.
But yes, when
we go to the toy fairs here, there's a group of them. I'm not too sure what they are, but there's always one guy that's dressed up as Vader. There's one guy that's always dressed up as Chewie, but they always walk about in a group.
Yeah.
My youngest nephew went to Disneyland just before the pandemic started, and he met the Darth Vader there. But then when last year we took him to like his first toy fair here, and he met a Darth Vader, and he's like, that guy's more helpful. That guy's more funny because he's like he was walking past and he was giving everybody high fives and that. And he says the Darth Vader that I met was mean. He looked mean. He looked he looked angry kind of thing. But he wanted the picture with Darth Vader, and then he wanted the picture with Chewbacca kind of thing. I thought the guy that was dressed as Chewbacca, I thought it kind of be a bit scary for him, but no, he just kind of ran up to him and like asked if he could get a cuddle. The guy was quite happily willing to do it. But when he sees folk dressed up as superheroes, I know he just turned 8 there, but he still thinks that guy that's dressed up as Batman is Batman.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it's his imagination. I mean, there was a guy dressed up there as Deadpool. And he went up to the guy and goes, "Are you the real Deadpool?" And the guy's kind of got to go with that. And he goes, "Yeah, I am." And then he asked if he could get a picture taken with him. And then it's kind of, when you look at them, it's like, that's kind of cool that they're doing that kind of thing. They're trying to stay in character. And then it's not until they actually touch, and it's like, you've told that young guy quite well. This as well. I am a toy collector kind of thing, and it's like, he knows, because there was a guy dressed as Joker, and he went right up to him, and he's like, "You're Joker, eh?" He goes, "Where's Harley?" And then, funny enough, there was a lassie dressed as Harley Quinn, and she kind of walked through the corner just as he said it. Because I take him we've got a comic book shop, Dave, near me, and he must have only been about 4 or 5 at the time, and I take him in, and it's a family-run business. I go in there all the time just to have a wee look, and their daughter was in that day, and she was quite surprised that somebody that young knew exactly, because he went up to a book, he went, "There's Harley Quinn, there's Joker, there's this, there's that," and she couldn't believe that. And she asked, goes, "What age is he?" He goes, "He's only 4." Goes, "He shouldn't know who Harley Quinn is. He shouldn't know who Joker is. He shouldn't know who this is and that is." But she was quite surprised. But because I see my nephew every day, man, I've got from him Marvel books, I've got DC books, so we're always looking at them. So he's always kind of asking us, like, "Who's this character? Who's that character?"
Yeah.
So they just get the Bible, basically, what I cry it, the both books, and then we kind of just go through it all.
Right.
So I think we have a young collector in the making.
Right. Nice little paddy one then. Okay then, Baz. Here's a question for you. You've seen Galaxy's Edge Star Wars done in Disney.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Avenger Campus now with the Avengers now
Mm-hmm.
done in there. Universal Studios has got the Hulk Land, the comic book land, Simpsons Land, Toy Story World. Warner Brothers are finally doing the what's-it-call-it? Mario World,
Mm-hmm.
which looks absolutely amazing. In Dubai, you've got the DC World, which you can actually go around, meet the DC characters, go through their stages and everything else. What two-part question? What land would you love to see, or world would you like to see come off the comic book into the real world, or theme park? And the second question is, if they did a He-Man one, how would they do it, and what would you put in it?
The He-Man one that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to come and see how they would do that. But man,
I can think of the rides quite easy because they can do battle cats or panthros going around like a racetrack, like they did the worm or the snakes or the bugs, like a battle cats you sit on.
with the He-Man, right? With the He-Man one, I would love them to have a Eternia ride. That's basically the Eternia playset, but like in much bigger scale that you've got. Because in the Eternia one, it's got the tram thing that goes round.
Is it basically you're thinking of in Disney? They've got the pterodactyl ride now. It's suspended in the air, it's like on a track, like a pterodactyl ride, but use that as a turn. Yeah, perfect.
But if it was, I will. The other one that you say is, I would love to have a Halo theme park, because I'm a big Halo fan kind of thing. I mean, I know a lot of folk are not liking the new series, but I'm enjoying the new series.
Yeah.
It's just a different intake into the character. it's not kind of based on the games. It's like they've done their own universe kind of thing. But it would be cool to have, like, it doesn't have to be like a movie style fun and theme park or a TV style theme park. They could easily do some game theme parks as well.
Yeah.
It's like the ones that would kind of come to mind is like Halo, Destiny, Borderlands. I think Borderlands would be a cool kind of park. Even having Elder Scrolls theme park style kind of thing, something that's something different, something for everybody kind of thing. Because when I know everybody collects their own Pacific toy line or Pacific series, or they have one thing that they go daft with that have too much. And my one is Joker and Harleys. I'm kind of running out of space for the amount of Harley Quinns I've got and the amount of Jokers I've got.
I think Abu Dhabi or Dubai's got to now like walk around theme park for that, and he looks absolutely unbelievable, amazing. But as like you said, you've got Horror Nights at Universal for Halloween in America. They've done Stranger Things. They've done Walking Dead. They've done XYZ movies, Scream, and everything else. You know what I mean? You're right. There's not a theme park for gamers, is there?
No, really, no. I mean, that's just my thought from in Halo, Borderlands, Destiny. I think Destiny would be a good one.
Yeah.
It's just something different. But there's probably other good games out there that they probably could easily make into a theme park. I mean, like
theme park or something.
Borderlands, it would just be like a pure apocalypse style. It'd be, especially because the Borderlands, they do have some really unique characters.
Yeah.
I would like to see how they would go doing with like costume wise for those guys, and how they would kind of work.
Yeah.
Or if you really wanted to, if you're talking about, I know it's technically not a horror movie, but could you imagine if they had an Alien versus Predator versus Marines style theme park that you can kind of go into?
I could see that. I could see that done. Cause I can remember the Terminator 2D ride, the 3D. That was amazing. You know.
So actually, Coruscant's talking about the Mario world in Japan.
Yeah. I think it's going to Los Angeles very soon. But that is looks absolutely amazing.
But it's like with the one I just mentioned with the aliens and predators, and
you
can kind of have a group, but one of the person that's taking it, he's actually a Marine.
Can they do something like that down in London once?
I think they did.
Was it Experience? I know they did Doctor Who Experience. Didn't they do like an Alien Experience a couple of years?
They did.
But yes, you turn that into a theme park, but you're actually walking through like the tunnels and walking. Yeah, that could be. You know what I mean? That could be.
For my idea for that is that even though you've got your tour guide as a Marine, but everybody in that party has like a laser tag style thing. So you can kind of, it's like the guy will say like, there's an alien there, there's Predator, right, shoot. But then if you get but then they can come and hit you back, and you've only got 3 light kind of thing until they recharge again. I think that would be, I don't know how they would do it, but I think that'd be kind of a cool experience that you're actually a part of that.
The old laser quest you used to go to?
Something like Laser Quest,
Yeah.
Laser tag. I think that would be kind of interesting. At least you'd be like a part of that squad kind of thing.
Yeah. It's amazing how much stuff you can think of a theme park, but it's crazy, isn't it?
where they're building a new theme park based on films near London, but I think they cancelled it for. I'm not actually too sure. I don't know if you know anything about that, Dave.
I do know there's Harry Potter World and bits and pieces down London and bits like that. I know occasionally down London they keep doing at like the XL Expo Centre. They do keep doing special things like the Doctor Who experience walking around that with a museum at the end. They've done Halo, Aliens and all sorts of stuff. I would almost say yes, it could be done down London. Yeah, you know. But thing is, when it comes to like Lego, there's done Lego Lands and that sort of stuff. But yeah, you know.
I know because my nephew's been asking about the Harry Potter thing that's doing. My sister's thinking about maybe try to do that at the summertime, find out how much it's going to cost.
I think adults is like 45, 50 quid for an adult bus.
Find out what it's going to cost for flights to go down there and then all that. But it's because at the minute their school project's all about Harry Potter and all the different houses, and he's kind of got into the Harry Potter stuff. But it's like with my nephew, he does go through phases that he likes this toy line. Then something else will pop up. Oh, he's into that. Then something else will pop up and he's into that kind of thing. And then he'll kind of go back. He goes back and forward to different stuffs.
Yeah.
Because at the minute he's into Pokemon stuff. He's into Harry Potter the new kind of thing. It's like that's all you ask for.
Actually, in Japan, I think they may have done a Pokemon World as well. Or thinking of it. I know there's some certain computer games, and that's in Japan. I know they've done certain things in Japan that are absolutely amazing. You know, I can still remember back in the day when Jaws came out. I remember it being the Jaws ride, Back to the Future ride before it changed to the Spider-Man. That was quite nervous. You know, but you know, it's crazy what you can get round and do and bits.
Oh, definitely. You know. It's like I wish they'd done things like that up here in Scotland. They probably have. I've never really heard too much about it. But I know they do like the Walking with Dinosaurs. I know they do that in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Because a few guys from my work, they've taken their kids to it and they fucking love it, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's another thing, isn't it? Walking with dinosaurs, walking with bits. They've done that, haven't they? That goes up and down the country quite a few times.
I think that before the pandemic hit, they actually did like a Jurassic Park style one as well at the Hydro in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Sure they did. But usually if it's any like major things like that, it'll always be the Hydro in Glasgow that we talk about. But it's try to get out of there at night time. Once the show's finished, try to get out there, man. The Hydro is absolute mental, man. Because that's where, if they're doing any like big Comic Cons, that's where it's always held.
Yeah.
It's just a mental. Sorry, going to it, but it's trying to get home for it. It's crazy, man. It's mental.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes, and it's when things are so close and not too far away. It's sometimes getting the time to get to doing it.
Oh,
and then basically, when you've got nothing on, there's nothing on. When you got something on, there's 1,000 things happening, isn't there?
Well, that's the thing, is that there is a toy fair this weekend, and I was actually hoping to go for it, but because my car slightly buggered up on me a couple of weeks ago, that kind of went into my funds a little bit. So it's still doable.
Yeah.
But I don't want to kind of risk, because the last time I went to Toy Fair, I spent too much.
It's the same with me, but
If my car didn't decide to bugger up, then I would have had plenty. I would have, because I think the last time I was there, I think I spent nearly 300 quid.
yeah.
I didn't realise I spent 300 quid until I come home, and it's like, what the hell did I buy?
I bought a pink flamingo, a Dracula with good teeth. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's like the Dracula, man. That's an awesome finding that. Man, I've seen a few folk picking them up. I think Aaron picked one up a couple of years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I think he also got the castle as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he got the castle and a few of the other figures, like the standard ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was kind of weird because the girl that strikes back was talking about her Lord of the Rings stuff, and on Saturday there I picked up the Peter Jackson Hobbit figure, and I think Aaron, like the week before, I think he picked up a werewolf from the Doctor Who.
Yes.
I picked one up as well at the weekend there, but
Yeah.
I've got 3 or 4 of those guys. I've got an idea of a picture thing that I've got in my head. I need to kind of work out the best way to kind of do it.
I know.
But it's always kind of weird. Somebody will, especially either somebody for the toy division, or you see somebody on Instagram pick this guy up, and then a few weeks later, you seem to come across it. It's kind of weird that it must be a calling.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, I've done plastic.
We've talked about things a few times, and then I've kind of went to the boot sale like 3 or 4 days later. I was like, "Hey, Dave, look what I've just fucking found." We were talking about this guy a couple of weeks.
Technically, the weekend you're going to find the Rancor monster and show up on Monday. Okay.
Oh, if I found a Rancor, that's it. That's game over. I'll just retire. Because I can't get the other guy because he's on the bottom fucking shelf right at the back. But there was one week I went to the boot sale on Wednesday, because we have one on a Wednesday, one on a Thursday. But the one on a Thursday is usually about 2 or 3 guys there, because it used to be a market. Yeah. But I went to the boot sale on the Wednesday, beautiful fucking day, and I found the vintage Jabba figure. Yeah. And then I went to the boot sale on the Saturday, and then I found the
episode 1.
No, this. What year was this one? This is the night for 92. I think it's the
episode 1.
I think it's the Power of the Force.
Yeah.
Version. So I found 2 Jabbas within basically not even a week each other.
Sometimes when you get to car boots, toy fairs, charity shops, you just don't know what you're going to walk into or find.
Well, that's the thing.
Even like John in the chat earlier and bits and pieces, he's gone to a place in America called Oilers and a few other bits like that. Even that, the friends have put up a picture of Instagram and say they've got 5 of these in stock right now. And then you go there yourself, or one of your friends go there, and it's like, where are they? I said, mate, I've only been in the shop half hour, left half hour ago, they should be there. But in that time, like you say, somebody walks in, spots them, buys all 5, eh?
That's the thing, is that I look at the guys in their on Twitter that I know, they've started to come across the retro, I think it's the Mandalorian line.
Yeah.
And it's always Ahsoka, Boba. I think there's 3 of them that seems to be completely gone. So they're not getting the full wave. But the minute if somebody posts something, oh, I found this in Target, and if they've watched that YouTube video or they've seen that post, it's like they're basically away. But
yeah. Oh, it's crazy sometimes when I know Dan Plastic showed off a skeleton that glows in the dark at the end of the live stream, and I've got one or two in my own collection. They're quite, unique little figures. So, guys, we've got roughly about 10 minutes left. So if you guys got any questions in the chat or anything you can ask us, please do.
It's just like, I think it was over a month ago now that I picked that guy up. But remember that Battlehawk figure that I picked up?
Yeah.
Like things like that you wouldn't think to find out in the wild. You'd think things like that you would only find online. Especially when it comes to things like that, because I've also found I've kind of moved tidy these shelves up again.
Yeah.
I even found like Automan at a boot sale. And that's a kind of thing that you think you would never come across.
Yeah.
But even looking at that, when I first seen it, I thought it was a knockoff song, and it's like, I do like knockoff stuff if it's indecent. And it was something that's like, no, that's Automan. And it's like, things like that you wouldn't think to find at a charity shop or a boot sale. It's like, for example, I found that in a charity shop. And that's the classic Panfor. Now, how the hell did that end up in a charity shop? Fair enough, he's missing his saddle and he's missing his helmet kind of thing, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't think about finding something like that.
Especially now, the thing that gets me, never got released in the shops over here properly, except for specialist shops, did it, Baz?
Mm.
So people have imported it in or bought it in, which, as I said, it's like sometimes you go into a charity shop, I bet you 10 minutes you're looking at it, it's like, I'm actually looking at this in a charity shop.
It's like when I picked that up, the idea was that was going to my nephew. But the more you kind of look, it's like, went in, it's like I got something, because that weekend my nieces and my nephews were coming through, my brothers and that, my sister-in-laws and that were coming. It's like, I'll get them a little toy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just happened to go to the chat shop, and that week they had quite a good lot of new stuff in as well. So I ended up getting my niece a Cindy, and my two nieces a Cindy, and I got one of the LOL doll things for Mother Mulder, and got Pokemon card for my oldest nephew, and that was meant to be for the youngest one, the one that I always talk about, because that was just lying in a box of dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
And the more I looked at it, and it's like, didn't think at the time, I just picked everything up, went to the tills, paid for it. And I was to go back to the car, there's like something in my head saying, is like, that guy's from something, it's not right. And the more I looked at it,
you can't put two and two together when it doesn't complement, does it?
I was kind of looking at it, and it's like, that is so familiar. I have seen that from somewhere before. And I'm sitting in the car on my phone, taking pictures of it, asking, and the guy's like, that's Panfro from the Classics line. And it was like, where did you get that? Goes to charity shop. And it's like, you do realise that's like a £200 figure. I believe when he's got all his accessories, I believe it go to like £300-400 for that. And if it's boxed, it's fucking beyond that. And it's like, I could not believe that I found something that weird, because the exact same week I found from this guy in the exact same charity shop, and that's from is it General Carnivorous from the 2000X. I believe he was in 2000X.
Must be a He-Man collecting your area then, Baz, other than the Bazatron.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's like getting a guy like that with all his accessories as well in a charity shop. It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
If you didn't take a picture, Baz, people wouldn't believe you. Would they? And said, "What show did you go to the weekend?" It's like British Art Foundation. It's crazy. Isn't it?
A lot of like some of the stuff that I have found. I mean, I've wished I've kind of taken pictures when I was there, but when it's like my one, when as soon as they start putting new stock out, there must be a lot of folk reselling, because we were in there 2 weeks ago, Dave, and the lassie was just putting new stuff out. And on the road, there must have been about 6 guys in there, and they were just like vultures. The lassies try to put stuff out, and they're taking stuff out of boxes, kind of thing. So when you see folk like that, they know that they see it. It's like, oh, that's worth this. I'm going to take that. The lassie was going mental at them. It's like, no, can you not wait until I put the stuff out? But they were fucking they were raking through the boxes to find out what the. But it's like some of the stuff that I found, it's just kind of luck.
Yeah.
Especially charity shops, it's just luck. If you kind of know when they roughly start putting stuff out, because like my charity shop, the one that we always go to, they always start putting stuff out at 3 o'clock. So if you can get down there between 3 and 3:30, then you've got a chance of finding something special.
Yeah. Normally, Baz, it's also usually ask the people, you get more toys or bits and pieces coming out in a bit. I always ask a few shops now, says, you got anything else in the background? It's crazy.
It's like my one when I go out, because I'm kind of in there maybe 3 or 4 times a week when I'm off. There's only one manager that I kind of talk to in there, and she always, if she finds anything, because I've usually got my nephew with me, so the majority of the time he's asking for Power Rangers and stuff. She always tries to keep certain things back.
Yeah.
And then if a man, she'll say, oh, we've come across this, is you interested in this one? Are you interested in that? Kind of thing. Or if I've got him, she says, oh, guess what? I've went and found this guy and I found that guy. So it's good that they do that for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you go on, you kind of just ask, like, you got any new toys coming out soon? Kind of thing. So you can kind of, because I mean, I missed out on a big Power Ranger stuff that come in.
Yeah, you said.
A few months back. And I noticed them that was sitting at the checkout, that somebody must have just brought them in. But they put them out the following day, and I kind of missed it. And the lassie says to me, is like, if you see something like that, she says, we don't have to isolate the stuff now. If you see stuff like that, she says, just ask if you can have a look in the bag or the box. If you see anything you want, just take what you want and we'll kind of price it up.
Yeah. So the moral of the story, if you don't ask anyone or ask any advice for bits and pieces, just ask the people if they say yes or no. It's one of them things. It's great, isn't it? So.
And as soon as we go into that charity shop, Dave, just before we finish, is as soon as we go into that charity shop, especially if I've got my nephew with me, the first thing he does is goes right up to the checkout and he goes, you got any new toys?
We need to get him on the channel one of these days, Baz. We need to do an early special for him. As I see the Padawan in the almighty Padawan.
Well, I have been talking to my sister about it, so she's going to think about it.
Does that mean we get your sister on as well?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. I know your brother's been in the chat, so there you go, in the past.
I know I'm quite surprised he's not been filming, but I know he's been busy at work the new day, so.
You probably don't tell him, Baz. So that's another story for another day.
Okay, he asks me every week, so you doing a live this week? I goes, aye. But unless he's watching in the background and just no bothering from and commenting.
We'll get your brother on again, okay, don't worry. So. Well, Baz, for the last hour and a half, it's been a pleasure asking the Baziltron, the Baz Lightyear, the Baziltron, the Basil Brush, the birthday dream specials for like Monday,
Aye, so as we were saying, it's my birthday's coming up soon, so the next live stream will be Monday. Because I was going to leave it until Thursday, but Dave knows that I can't do it on Thursday because I have a.
Perfect, I've got something else on next Thursday as well, so I couldn't even make it.
I have a big appointment that I've been looking for the last 3 or 4 months. So hopefully we'll get down to mat issues.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it at the same time. But we'll do one Monday. I'm going to see how I feel over like Wednesday and Thursday.
No,
And
it's still on Monday, base, like for your birthday special, like we planned. And then we'll have that week off and then come back with a big special the
I
week
was thinking
after.
about doing something at the weekend kind of thing, but I've not decided yet. But as I say, we'll kind of discuss that later on this week kind of thing. But it all depends on how we're busy kind of thing. And with the big thing happening tomorrow, we'll see how the next few days goes as well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, but come on Monday, help me celebrate. We may just have
I've already got your birthday card already set up for you, Baz, so that will be, you know.
I don't know. We might kind of slightly change Monday. We might have depending on how many folk come on. We might try and invite some people to come on as well if they're free. I know it'll be Monday. A lot of folk will be working on the Tuesday kind of thing, but we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what
I
happens.
know we've got a few things special coming up in the next couple of weeks or future plans. For me on my channel, honestly, basically for the next month or so many weeks, on a Tuesday and a Thursday, I'm putting out old toy museums I used to go to. I've got an old action figure museum I went to, toy shops I used to go to back in the day. I'm doing like a flashback Tuesdays and Thursday specials on my channel, which starts next week. You know, plus all the other little bits and pieces I've got planned and bits. But no, Baz will do a bit more specials. There's a few people that reached out to me recently that want to say they would like to do a live stream. So we've got a few specials coming up very soon. But no, thank you very much again, Baz, for doing this again. Hope tomorrow the 14th wish comes true the weekend to get your Rancor.
If I come across that, that's it. I'm retiring for toy hunting.
You heard it here first, live on Baz's stream at the end of the stream. So, but no, thanks, Baz. Thank you very much. Please stay safe, keep well, and we'll be back in, was it 92 hours on Monday?
Something like that, aye.
Or something like that. So, cross your fingers. So.
Right. Well, we'll end it here then, Dave.
Yeah. Was it the Star Trek? Long live and prosper.
Long live him. Aye, long live and prosper. Aye.
Well, basically, if you're going up to that, it's Vader time that you've been wrestling the weekend. So there you go.
Hey, good night, everyone.
See you guys.